Disney was so excited when they announced the casting for their newest live-action remake, Snow White. When they brought Rachel Zegler out and said, look, we're so diverse and stunning and brave, we cast a Latina to play Snow White. Isn't that incredible? They had to imagine they'd get a little bit of pushback, but not nearly as much as they've seen. Nearly universally, it feels like everyone hates Rachel Zegler in the role of Snow White. For some people, because they're tired of these lazy, contrived, virtue-signaling race swaps from companies like Disney. And for a lot of other people, it's just based solely off what Rachel Zegler has said when she opens her mouth, how she disrespects the character, disrespects anybody that likes this character, and says we need to make it okay for a modern era. We're going to change everything about Snow White. And now it's clear that even Disney understands this is going to be a massive disaster for them. But once Daily Wire came out just a few days ago with their trailer and announced, oh, by the way, we're also doing a live-action version of Snow White, and our character's actually going to be white. It seems like the mainstream media has lost their minds. They can't stand the idea that Daily Wire, on what's going to be much less of a budget than the $300 million plus disaster from Disney, is going to do something that's more traditional and might actually remind people of what the character's all about. How crazy would that be? The woke media cannot handle this. They are furious about it. They were doing their best to do damage control for Rachel Zegler, but now that this is out there, you're really seeing them lose their minds. And it ranges from, oh, by the way, this conservative outlet Daily Wire's doing something, whatever, to things that are like wild headlines. Let's just take a look at some of them, right? Daily Wire's making a rival Snow White movie trolling Disney. I kind of like that because that's what it is. You know, Jeremy Boring, even in the announcement, said Disney has been using Walt's name, but they no longer resemble the company that he built anymore. This is a company that's been going all in identity politics, blah, blah, blah. This really was a direct shot at Disney. There's no doubt. But then you look at some of the other ones here. Daily Wire takes on Disney with its own Snow White film starring white YouTuber. And they're very mad that for some reason, a character who's supposed to be white is played by someone who is white. What about Mediaite? Daily Wire's making its own Snow White movie to counter woke Disney film starring a Latina. But of course, like it typically is, the Mary Sue's the one with the most outlandish headlines. The Daily Wire pivots to Disney remakes with Snow White and what? The 7 incels? Now, this is, of course, from Rachel Leishman, who, if you ever see that name on Twitter, it's likely followed by one of the dumbest, most retarded things you've ever heard in your life. Whether it's about Marvel or Star Wars, or in this case, woke Disney live-action disasters. And, of course, the headline about the 7 incels certainly got people's attention. A lot of people in the comments, even of this article, saying, you know, I think it's more likely that the people that write garbage like this on the Mary Sue aren't getting laid. And for some reason, Rachel Leishman decided to say, you think that I'm not getting laid? Look how hot I am. No, she's not the one under this raccoon suit, under the rocket suit. No, she's the one on the left, and she posted this as evidence of how hot she is. Maybe at one point in time, 50 pounds ago, you were attractive, Rachel, but I'm glad you're very confident. I have no doubt you can go out there and get fucked, and then you probably get ghosted. You look like that type. But I suppose we shouldn't be surprised that these woke outlets are so furious because, one, they've probably seen this coming for a while. They knew that it was going to be a nightmare, just like we've said, and they're getting a little bit tired. They can't do anything to stop the backlash against Rachel Zegler. She's so unlikable. We saw how upset they got when South Park dropped their Enter the Panderverse trailer and they realized, oh shit, they're going to shit all over these Disney race swaps. They're going to shit all over these woke virtue signals. That's what they're going to do, aren't they? Fans think South Park's upcoming episode roasts Rachel Zegler's Snow White. And once again, you have people in the media that are complaining that say, we're so tired of this already. You know what they're going to do. You know they're just going to make fun of these virtue signal minority hires. Yeah, it's probably exactly what they're going to do, and it's going to be hilarious. You deserve to be mocked for this bullshit. And so you have seen the media over the past couple days get completely up in arms that Daily Wire's adapting a fairy tale that's centuries old, right? This is not a Disney thing. Snow White is not a Disney property. They made what is probably the most recognizable one, but the Grimm fairy tales, that's something that goes back to the 1800s. In this article by Rachel Leishman, she's so fucking retarded that she doesn't understand why, you know, Brett Cooper's Snow White, her hair doesn't look like this. Well, it's because this is specifically a Disney thing. They can't just rip off the Disney movie. That's not what they're adapting. But again, some people are too retarded or fat or both to understand that. And I imagine the attacks are only going to ramp up. Now, as I have said, I don't know how this is going to be. We had a 50-second teaser trailer, which is basically just nature shots, and then one shot of Brett Cooper turning around and actually looking like someone who resembles Snow White, which is, refreshing, to be honest with you. But I don't know the level of quality to expect. We'll see what happens, and I'll judge it when it comes out. Now, they have said they don't want to make agenda-filled shit. They don't want to just be right-wing Hollywood. They want to make agenda-free entertainment. And so far, that seems to be what they've delivered on, a small sample size. We'll see what happens going forward. We'll see what happens with this movie. If there is stuff in it, I'll also call that out just like I do with Hollywood. But it's clear that the woke media already feels threatened, and since I guess Rachel Zegler can't say anything and Disney's been very tight-lipped, they're doing the best job they can to provide some pushback and some cover for woke Disney. But I don't know how effective it's going to be. Regardless of how successful or unsuccessful the Daily Wire version is, I know one thing. This version, race swap, Rachel Zegler, Snow White, is going to be a colossal disaster for Disney, especially with the budget ballooning the way it is and the fact that everyone hates Rachel Zegler. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.